But we need to focus on what to do after the laning phase, because that's where ADC shines. If you don't know what to do after the laning phase, then you're probably not going to carry games as AD carry. You need to understand what to do after laning phase. Welcome back, everyone, to the Coach Approach. We're going to be going over this is actually a unranked player so far, I believe. But it's going to be, obviously, Silver 1, Gold 4 ELO. That's pretty much where everybody starts on a fresh account. So we're going to be going over an Ezreal game here. The reason I chose this game was because we didn't really do terrible, but we also didn't do well. And obviously, you did have other games for me to choose from, but I feel like those games, you kind of pretty much know what you messed up on in terms of kind of how the game went, and it started spiraling out of control, so there's not much you can do. Why is his hair white? Is that a chroma? Oh, that is for the new Galaxy thing, huh? So I wasn't going to worry too much about that, but we're going to look at this game here, and we're going to see how we could have cleaned up our play, because once we get used to cleaning up our play, once we get better at doing things like that, we'll be able to then exceed in kind of all your games and stuff like that, all right? So as I said, not going to focus too much on those other games. Just want to see this one. You did okay, but you didn't do great. And I want to just try to clean that up just a little bit so you can get on with the good. Before we start, though, I want to make sure to give a shout out to my Patreons for making this video, these coachings, these VOD reviews, this free stuff that I do to help improve players possible. Thank you, Slippery Slappers, Captain Reed, Axonology, Alana, ABC Troll, Tiny Panther, Infinity, and Jarepair. Because of you guys, I'm able to do things like that. Like I said, if you guys see these guys' Discord, make sure you say thank you, because they're the reasons why it's actually able to happen and I'm able to do this type of stuff. Also, if you do want to join my Patreon, there are guides and videos in there specifically for Patreons that definitely will give you some bang for your buck, as well as help support the channel. But if you don't, obviously don't do it, right? I'm not trying to force you to do it. I'm not selling it. Maybe I am selling it. Let me gotta show a little thigh and you'll buy it. Let me stop. I'm sorry. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this game. Thank you guys, Patreons, for dealing with me and for supporting me. I appreciate it. Let's go. Let's get into it. Let's clean up your play, man. Here we go. If you guys would like a higher chance to get a VOD review, make sure you guys are talking in my Discord. The higher level you are, the more priority you have over players. And remember, just because you're a high level does not mean you get one. Why do I say that? Because if you're a high level and you don't talk throughout a whole week, you're not necessarily showing you're a high level, right? Versus a player that might, or a person that might be like level 4, but they've been talking the entire week, they're going to get priority over you. So it's a consistent thing. It isn't something where it's like, well, I'm this level, I get it all the time. No, you must pretty much be active. You don't have to send 1,000 messages, of course. But if you're like level, let's say 9, and you talk like once, that's not enough, right? You're going to have to talk about like once a day or something. You know, really use that power you got in terms of having the priority. Anyway, let's get started. So before we get into this game, we want to ask ourselves the 3 questions, right? We want to understand how we're going to play this lane out. What does my ADC want to do? What does their ADC want to do? And how can I prevent their ADC from doing what they want to do, while also allowing me to do what I want to do, right? That sounded so bad. I don't know why. It sounded confusing. So with this in mind, we know that Ezreal, what does he want to do? Well, he usually farms, right? I don't know why my thing ain't working. My little clicky click ain't working. All right, let's go back. All right. You're like, Avery, get your shit together. I'm sorry. Okay, so what does Ezreal want to do? Well, Ezreal just likes to kind of farm and scale up. If he could toss some Qs out and hit him, cool. But for the most part, he just wants to farm and get his items. He's not that strong unless he finishes his Mana Moon and gets his Iceborne Gauntlet, okay? What does Ashe want to do? Well, she wants to try to bully you out of lane. She wants to poke you and she wants to shove you in, right? So the last question, how can I prevent her from doing what she wants to do, right? But also allowing me to do what I want to do. The best way to answer this question is to just kind of see what's the best spot to keep the wave in. Keeping it here, permanent pushing, or keeping it here. Whereas probably the best place to prevent Ashe from kind of poking us out. It's not here, right? She pushes us to our tower, we can freeze it, but they can still toss the poke out. But if we keep her pushed in, she's gonna have to use her abilities to CS. And if she doesn't have any abilities up or she's out of mana, she can't really do anything to us. So we want to try to perma push it the entire time. The sad part is we got caught right here, so we're fucked. And it looks like they're duo, so that means you have a duo on your team. So I would assume maybe it's the brand or something. I don't know. But this lane's kind of over just because we ruined it right then and there. I would just recall. There's no reason to sit in lane. You're going to die. So recall. If you're low, just recall. You already lost lane. Yeah, you see what I mean? There was no reason for that. You could have just instantly recalled when you got low. All right, so we really lost this lane. Well, luckily Brand made something happen. Oh, he got a double. Oh, snap. Okay, it's good for us. All right, we see something kind of happening over here. Could you have done anything? Not really. You're on level 2. Really mind your spacing. So that's a big one. Mind your spacing. Understand what abilities can actually hit you, including auto attacks. You want to be careful playing ranked when you're not ready. I know I only do VODs of people that play ranked, and it's fine. But I'm just saying, if you do want to spam ranked, you know, you do want to get better. Obviously, the best place to get better at ranked is in ranked. I'm not one of them believers that think, well, if you play normals and you spam it, you're definitely going to be slapping players in ranked once you're ready. No, that's not what I mean. But normals helps you understand concepts, and when you understand those concepts, then you have an easier time in your ranked game applying those concepts. So if you do have concepts you want to understand, such as what I just said, do it in normals. And then once you get the concept down, you can kind of pull it off in ranked. You could definitely Q her and kill her. Oh, yeah, you definitely could have got a double kill if you would have just hit her. Okay. Okay. Mind that spacing. You know they're coming back. Look at what's happening. You got to pay attention to what's happening around you because you're about to get collapsed on. Okay. Luckily, they decided to chase your brand instead of come get you, because definitely you would have been collapsed on. So we're going to say, pay more attention to what's going on around you. As an ADC, doing that gets you free kills like no other. Like, if you could pay attention to what's happening around you as ADC, you will get free kills out the yin-yang. And for my Patreons, I do plan on making more ADC content. I think it's going to be supporting ADC a lot more than jungle and mid. Or jungle and top, I think. I don't know. But ADC and support are the top ones I've been making gameplay commentaries for. So be on the lookout for that. All right, we're back in lane. What do we have? So we have a tier, right? We don't we don't have our item. We don't have any damage item at all, so we don't really want to look to fight. You're doing good pushing them in. As I said, that's kind of what you want to do. But you also want to tell your laner that that's what you're trying to do. Because when they're in lane, you don't like push them. You just kind of let them push, right? Because Ezreal's push isn't that good. So you have to be on the same page with your support. Tell him, hey, let's perma push together. I don't care if you take CS. And then he'll be like, all right. And he'll just help you what he's doing right now. I mean, he's just being an ass, I think, kind of right now, taking your CS on purpose. Because that definitely didn't look like an accident. But, I don't know why Ashe is roaming so much. He's like losing tower. All right. So we got the... We don't sit in lane. We back. We pretty sure we have enough gold to buy something. Yeah, we have 1,800. Go back. Spend your gold. So, always look to back when you have piece of a power, spike item, or a full item. Very important. You do not want to sit on that much gold because a dragon is about to spawn And this means two things. You're not going to be here because you backed, or you're going to be here and you're going to have no damage because you didn't buy anything. So it's going to be one or the other. Let's see which one it is. You're here and you were there and you didn't buy anything, right? It was going to be one of the two things for sure. And you're kind of getting away with playing like this because your team is pretty much carrying you. Oh, you're wild for trying that, my man. I'm not even going to comment on that one. That was just, you're ballsy, weren't you? You're getting away with it because these players are kind of carrying you. But when you get to high elo, like when you mess up like this, it's just free reign. I don't know why Ashe was roaming because it definitely wasn't a hard lane for her at all. When you take the tower, you want to look to rotate and help your other team. So the best way to kind of think about it, I'm usually like, who's struggling? That's the first question. Is anybody struggling? No? All right. Well, then who has the least amount of wave clear? Is it Orianna or is it Mordekaiser? The wave clear is pretty decent, but I would say Mordekaiser has less wave clear than Orianna. So I would probably go top, help him get the tower. 3-man, we get the tower. And then we rotate to either Rift Herald or we rotate to the next tower that's mid. Right? So after you get your tower, look to rotate to mid or top. Unless there is a a dragon coming. Okay? Because now we're just kind of sitting, doing nothing. And if our team sucked, guess what? We would just lose. So this is why you rotate to help them out. You're a wild, my man. You're absolutely nuts. Not paying attention, just kind of what got you killed. And then once again, we're just gravitating back towards bot. You want to rotate. Because what happens is these players have to defend, right? You get their tower, the wave comes, they have to defend this tower. So that ADC is going to come bot. And most likely the support then will come bot with the AD carry, which means you have a whole top half of the map to 5v3 on, right? That's way better odds than you staying bot and doing kind of having a 5v5 or a 4v4 or 3v3. Like, it's easier to match you constantly being bot than it is if you make a play here or here and this bot lane has to rotate. Does that make sense? All right. Nice try. Okay. And they just forfeit, looks like. They weren't even like losing that hard to forfeit. They must have been raging at each other. All right, so homework, that was a pretty short VOD review now. So homework, make sure that you just know what to do after you rotate. After you get your tower. It's very, very important. Understanding your spacing so you're not getting poked down. You're not getting like traded auto for auto. A really good way to get that down packed is pressing, I believe it's A. And you'll see the range of your autos. And some champions have a bigger range so that their circle is bigger. Some have a shorter range so their circle is smaller. And understanding how close you need to be to a minion to get the auto, so you don't have to be too close to where that the other ADC can trade you. So let's say you're right here, right? That's your circle. It's way bigger than that, but we're going to assume. And the minion's right here. You getting the hit here when the other ADC circle is this big, right? Means that when you go for an auto, they're going to have to step forward to then make their circle get to you, right? And by that time, you should get the auto and walk back, and then that means that you don't take no damage. But what you're doing right now is this, right? So, same instance, the minion is right here, right? And what we do is we're here, and our circle's like this, and we're attacking this minion. Their minion is right here, and oops. right here. Can I get my thing to work? So then their circle is like this. Look how easier it is for them to auto you when you're going for this minion, because you're super close to it. And that's what's happening. So if you understand your spacing, that won't happen that much, and you'll stay way more healthy than you currently were in this laning phase. And then the next one, definitely, I think is just really, really big that we should focus on here. Of course, paying attention to what's around you, but we need to focus on what to do after the laning phase, because that's where ADC shines. If you don't know what to do after the laning phase, then you're probably not going to carry games as AD carry. You need to understand what to do after laning phase. And in this sense, we rotate, because then we can get Rift Herald. We can help our laners get out of lane. And we don't have to deal with a 10-0 fucking top laner, because we just sat bot for the next 10 minutes of the game, and he was just able to stomp our top laner all the way back to this. And then it's like, oh, what am I supposed to do? My ADC is so weak. I can't help before this shit happens. And then it's a lot easier game to win. If you're 2-0 and you rotate, and this guy's 4-0, it's a lot easier for you to 2v1 that man, right? Or 3 if he's there too. A lot easier. Well, if you're like 5-0 and this guy's 10-0, you're gonna get fucking stomped. Because then you're gonna try to defend by yourself, he's gonna dive you, and then you're like, holy fuck, I can't do shit. Yeah, because you didn't help before it happened. So those are the main things that I think you need to focus on. Number 4 is just huge. All right. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you guys would like a VOD review, make sure you join my Discord. On the weekend, I do open it up to have free VODs. Make sure you post your op.gg in there, and you have a chance to get a free VOD. If you would like free VODs constantly, make sure you are talking and being active constantly, and your reward will be a free VOD, more or less every week. So thank you guys for watching. Until next time, you know what I always say. Thank you for approaching this like a coach.